Hello students, in this video we will learn about using a computer. So you can see on screen that how a computer start. So to turn on a computer, press the power button on the system unit. When you turn on the computer, lights on the keyboard may blink briefly and you may also hear a beep. This is an indication that the power on self-test post started. The computer performs a sequence of quick tests to check whether the motherboard, memory, hard drive and other components are working. If you hear a series of beeps, the monitor may display a message indicating that a component is not functioning. After post, the computer starts the operating system. The operating system controls the computer's hardware and manage the different operations of the computer, such as logging on, logging off and shutting down. When computer starts, the operating system, a welcome screen appears. The screen displays the links to existing user accounts. As you saw in video, when video started, to log on to Windows Vista, you need to click the link to your user account, type your password in the box as I typed, and then click the button next to the box. In Windows 10 there is no need to click on the next button. Just when we type password, and there are 4-digit password, and when the password entry complete, it automatically start the computer. So after we log on to our computer, operating system prepares the desktop in a few seconds. The desktop appears and the welcome center opens. The Microsoft Windows sidebar appears on the right side of the screen. The welcome center contains information about our computer and about using Windows. After log on, we can perform various tasks such as creating a new file or modifying an existing file. So before we close the file, we need to save the changes we made to the file. We can then log off from Windows. Logging off is useful if you share your computer with other people. If your computer is not shareable or you are not sharing your computer with anyone, you need not to log off. So we can end our Windows session without affecting the session of other users if they did not log off from their sessions. We can also end our computer session by using the shutdown command. If we shut down a computer when other users are logged on, they can lose unsaved data. If we encounter problems while using the computer, we can use the restart option to restart the computer, as restart option is available at start button. On most computers, we should never use the actual power button on the front of the system unit to turn off the computer. Unless it stops responding. When computer stops responding, we need to restart the computer so that it starts from the it starts and load the operating system again, so that the response is coming again. Now our next topic is overview of a keyboard. So let's understand the keyboard. So keyboard is an input device that we can use to type commands or text into a computer. Different keyboards have different key layouts. In addition, the function of some keys such as delete, backspace, page up and page down may vary from program to program. So here you can see the very first keys are function keys. So let's understand the type of keys in keyboard. So first we understand about the function keys. So keys labels from F1 to F12 are function keys. as you can see here that the keys from F1 to F12 are function keys. We use them to perform specific functions, and the functions of these keys differ from program to program. Means it's depend upon the program that is running, or depend upon the software, that what is the function of these keys. The function of F1 key in most program is to access the help file associated with a program. Some keyboards may have fewer function keys. So F1 is used for help in many programs, many softwares programs. Then after, keys such as control key, here you can see the control key, and shift key, so it is the shift key. Then after, space bar, so this is the space bar. Then caps lock key, so we can see two caps lock keys. Okay, in this keyboard there is only single caps lock key in here. Then Alt key, so Alt key is here, and tab are special keys. So we can say that special keys are caps lock, tab, shift, control, alt and space bar. The special keys are these keys perform special functions depending on when and where they used. Most keyboards include a special key called Windows logo key. So here we can see the Windows logo key also. This key is located between the control key and the alt key. So it is located between the control key and alt key. This key is used to open the start menu. So with the help of this menu with the help of this key we can open the start menu, or use in combination with a second key to perform common Windows tasks. So we can open the start menu by using Windows key or the start button in our screen or our desktop monitor. Then there are keys which are used for entering letters and numbers. So these are the keys which are used for entering letters and numbers. You can see that these are the keys which are uses for entering the numbers. These are the keys, number and character keys. Punctuation keys include keys for punctuation marks such as colon, semicolon. So here we can see colon and semicolon. These are punctuation keys. After colon, semicolon, question mark, single quote and double quotation mark. So here this is question mark and here the single quote and double quote marks. These are punctuation keys. Then the label on this key can be enter or return. So enter key is here. You can see the enter key depending on the brand of computer that we are using. So in some keyboard we use enter, or in some keyboard we use return key to move the cursor to the beginning of a new line. In some programs it is used to send commands and to confirm tasks on a computer. Then after, keys such as insert, delete and backspace are command keys. So we can see insert key, delete key and backspace key. So these keys are command keys. When the insert key is turned on, it helps us overwrite characters to the right of the cursor. When the insert key is off, it helps us to enter text or character to the right of the cursor without overwriting this text or characters. The delete key and the backspace key are used to remove typed text, characters and other objects on the right and left side of cursor key respectively. So by using backspace key we delete or remove the typed text, characters and other objects. Left side of the cursor, and by using delete key we can remove the text, characters and other objects of left side of the cursor respectively. Then after some keys are more, that are home, end, page up and page down keys. So you can see here home, enter, page up and page down keys. So these keys are navigation keys. We use the arrow key to move the cursor up, down, right and left. Arrow key is used to move the cursor up, down, left and right. The home key moves the cursor to the left end of a line. So we can see the home key is here, and it is used to move the cursor to the left end of a line of a text, and the end key moves the cursor to the end of a line. So here you can see the end keys also. Then after, the page up key is used to move one page up, and page down key is used to move one page down while viewing document. Then not all keyboards have a numeric keyboard. If available, there is a separate set of keys with numbers from 0 to 9, the decimal point, special character. So this is numeric keypad. It has special characters and navigation symbols. The numlock key on this keypad allows us to switch between the numeric and the navigation keys. So these keys are used to navigate or use in the place of arrow keys when numlock key is on and off. So when numlock key is on, this keypad allows us to switch between the numeric and the navigation keys. Now let's understand about using a mouse. A mouse is a small device that we can use to move, select and open items on our computer screen. The mouse is usually kept on the desk next to the keyboard, or it is depending on that it may be left side or right side according to the user. Most mouse devices have at least two buttons, left and right. Most of the actions are performed by clicking the left button. So here the left button is given, and the right button is used for specific functions, or we can say right button is used to open shortcut menus. Some advanced types of mouse devices provide additional buttons to speed up common tasks such as scrolling text. So between these left and right keys, another key, that is scroll key. So that may be here between two keys, so that we can scroll the screen through by using or by moving the scroll key. As we move the mouse on our desk, a pointer moves correspondingly on our screen. The mouse allows us to select an item on the screen, and as we move the pointer over different areas of the screen, the items or the pointer change. These changes indicate that we can click an item up to open it or see more of its options. We can open an item by moving the pointer to it and clicking the left mouse button twice. So by clicking twice on any icon, we can open that item of that icon. In a document, we can use the mouse to select a position to start typing, and we need to position the pointer in the document. Click where you want to insert text, and then use our keyboard to begin typing. To move an item, we need to click it and then holding the mouse button down, move the item to a different location. After we move the item to a new location, we release the mouse button. The right button on the mouse is used to display a menu. The options on this menu indicates the most common tasks such as copying text from one location and pasting it to another location, or renaming the file, or creating new file or new folder. So these are called context sensitive menus. These menus help us to complete tasks quickly. Most mouse devices also have a wheel that help us to scroll through documents or pages. To scroll, place our finger on the wheel and roll it back and forth. This moves the document up and down. There are different types of mouse available in the market. A regular mouse has a rubber or a metal ball on the underside. The mechanical movement of the mouse device moves the ball. This movement further moves the pointer on the screen. An optical mouse, as you can see, this is an optical mouse and this is the mechanical mouse, as we discussed in previous session. So an optical mouse can be used in the same way as a mechanical mouse. However, it does not have a ball. It uses a laser to detect the movement of cursor or mouse. It is all about your session 5. Then after we understand about the computer operating system. Thank you.